You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, bet. Hold on. I'm gonna fix it. Let me get a picture on here. Hold on.
Here's a little mini teenager. What's good? What's good with the YouTube and Facebook, man? You know what I'm saying? We live and direct up in here, man. We live and direct up in here. Welcome to the Ghost Machine, man. You know what I'm saying? Tonight we're gonna have an honorary guest pulling up at any moment, man. We're gonna have Pimpin Ken pulling up in here. And it's an honor, man. You know what I mean, to have OGs like that blessing the platform, man. So salute though. Glad to have Big Chuck pulled up. Death for the Cloud Chaser TV in the building. Still up in here, but yeah, we about to get this shit cracking in a minute. Yeah. I see all this gray and I feel like I look like all right. Yeah. So you hear me, bro? Still, Z's, you in the building? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you,
All
brother.
right, all good. Hey, let me go. Hold it down for me real quick. I'm about to go. Make sure bro got the link and everything that he's settled in. Then I'll be right back.
All right, bet. Yeah, man. Y'all
Yeah.
welcome to the Ghost Regime, man. We about to have an epic interview, man. We got none other than legendary uh Mike Scary, 415 Kumi, along with our honorary guest, Your Majesty Pimpin Ken. About to lace our chucks, lace our tenor boots, you know what I'm saying, lace the hard bottoms with some of this real GAME and just put a proper representation of the game down, man. And you know, can't wait to hear from Milwaukee's finest, if you ain't know. Um, so yeah, man, about to get into it, man. We just gotta roll out this red carpet, make sure it's velvet for our player partner. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna take it from there, man. Everybody that's in the building, man, just go ahead and get your popcorn, get settled in. If you're rolling up, go ahead, roll up. You know what I mean? Cause it's gonna be a good one. Yeah. Hmm. We just working out the logistics as of this point. Um, any questions, anything you guys want to shoot, of course, put it in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We'll make sure we get some of these questions to our dear brother Pimpin Ken. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, we're gonna take it from there. Hmm. It's gonna be a good thing, man, because you know it's always a treat when the players meet. But you got Pimpin Ken in the building, man. It's uh it's gonna be some lacing going on. So we just looking to get it out there, man, from a informed point of view and perspective. You know what I mean? So can't wait for that. Uh Man. Eventually want to try to see if we could if he'll bestow us the privilege to
All
be
right.
able to have people chime in and dialogue post interview. You know what I mean? And maybe see if we could have somebody click the stream yards. You know what I'm saying? If that be the case, man, we might, no promises, but we might be able to go ahead and get active with that
Oh,
part.
yep. I just hollering at Pimpin Ken. He should be here at any moment, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, righteous, righteous.
So it's gonna be a legendary dialogue we had tonight, man. Glad to have my brother Z's on stage with me, man. For this, you know what I mean? Because this a whole new milestone right here, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's only getting better though. So salute to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just tapping in. Uh, we about to do the damn thing. But other than that though, what's happening with you though, bro?
Man, I was just letting everybody know, man, it's gonna be a legendary. Got our brothers from the mill, you know what I mean, in the building. Salute death to the cloud chasers in the building, man. And that's what we established, man, is notoriety. You know what I mean? Notoriety and bringing on notable, distinguished guests. You know what I mean? And like I told him, we gonna roll out the red carpet, make sure it's velvet for our player partner. You know what I mean? To come through, slide in some of this ism, man, and hopefully we can soak it up. You
No
know,
holla though. Real holla. Most definitely, man. This shit right here can never be taken for granted, man. You know what I'm saying? No, uh, take take work. You know what I mean? But bro, gonna be pulling up any minute on us. You know what I'm saying? Meantime, thanks for everybody that's tapping in. You know what I'm saying? No, we gonna get this shit going. Um, we got a few other people lined up next week. We're gonna be having Kansas artist, a boy Zoe, from out of Wichita, Kansas. He gonna be pulling up on us. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we gonna have this shit lit, man. So stay tuned, stay tapped in, man. For sure. What was that? Second. Yep, that's what we waiting on. Oh, what took you down? Let me see. Oh,
I
okay,
took
okay.
myself
I
down,
got you.
bro.
I got you.
Back.
All good. Yep, but that's what we waiting on. We waiting on Ken to pull up. No, I hollered at I hollered at one of my people, man. We also working on getting Big Verge up on the stream too, man. You know what I'm saying? We get Big Verge up in here, man. We definitely official, man. We can't be denied at that point. For sure, for
Right.
sure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah. Get
stay
Virgil.
tapped in, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe to your guy, man. You know what I'm saying? No, we definitely we doing our shit.
I mean, tap into the ghost regime, man. We the ones that's really felt, not seldom seen, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, man. If I could say anything else, man, is it's gonna be some more of it. You know, we ain't stopping. It's just the
We
beginning.
got we got Pimpin Ken on the stream with it.
What's up, boss?
What's going on, Pimpin' Ken? I don't know, something just happened to bro. He clicked out somehow. He gonna be right back on, man. But man, it's an honor and a privilege, brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He says, these logistics. We got to get the logistics right. Here we go. He back on.
Okay.
We
Here we
got
go.
Pimpin Ken up in here, man. What's up with Big Bro, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Cost of living, price of everything.
Real holla though, man. Major salutes to you, man. Again, welcome to the Ghost Regime platform, man. I'm glad to have you, bro. First and foremost, could you please introduce yourself to the panel and let everybody know who you are, man?
Well, unless they've been living on the rock, man. Uh, I'm the guy that been on all the albums for the last 20 years. 50 Cent, Lil Jon, Too Short, E40, Pimp C, Ice T, Big Daddy Kane, Little Flip, uh, man, Loon. There's so many albums, man, that I've been on. Past Detroit, Young Bloods. I did the movie Pimps Up, Hoes Down. That was back in the Gap. American Pimp. I did 4 movies of my own. I'm the author of Pimpology, The 48 Laws of Game. Also the author of Art of Human Chess. Most brothers that been in the penitentiary and read that book. I'm the CEO and founder of Hip Hop Fraternity. Uh, I'm a businessman. I'm a father. I'm a realtor. I got a host of things that I cover. Uh, I mean, I'm originally, from the mud, got out the mud, you know, went corporate on them, went from the ghetto streets to executive streets, from the ghetto blocks to the Wall Street stocks, from the sewer to an entrepreneur, just really out here, man, trying to show brothers, you know what I'm saying? I went from the track, to the Apple Mac, you know what I mean? just doing it, baby.
Real holiday, man. It's a real honor to have you on here once again, man. And the go thing, I'm gonna let my brothers, cause I'm gonna let my brother G go first. You know, what I mean? 'Cause, it's true to be up here.
I don't know if you could you hear him clearly, Ken?
I heard a little static in that, you know, but I heard some of it.
Okay, I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna go ahead and let him say that again. He let's see, little technical difficulties, but okay. So let's kick it off. I just, if you could let us know, we all, like you said, if they under the rock, that's something different. But we all know you from the mill. But like, where were you born, if you don't mind me asking?
I was born in Chicago, Illinois. Uh, kind of grew up on the south side, 4759 South Federal, 103rd and Jeffrey. We lived in a couple spots up there. We used to live off Pulaski when I was a young man. I was born at the Harrison Cook County Hospital off Harrison. Uh, Around 14, called attempted murder case. You know, uh, Beat that. The youngest man to ever get housed in the Cook County jail at that time was one of the worst jails. And a lot of y'all shit the niggas doing now, they was doing back in the 70s in Chicago. I went through that, and never joined the gang, but just had so much game and was so shy, me and my big brother, that, we was able to, through the grace of God, get through that war zone without getting a scratch, a lot of brothers, brother Finney, who was a fight, El Rookin, and brother Black, who was a black gangster disciple. They both took a liking to me and my brother. They knew we was underage and they knew we was being railroad, so they made sure that nobody, in the gangs and nothing try to, do nothing crazy or act crazy. So, that was God's grace right there. Got out of there, came to Milwaukee because my mama wanted to change her environment. Called a felony, my first federal case at 14. I was still 14. Tried to cash a check that didn't even have my name, didn't even know what a check was. It was just being stupid, and I did, a little time in and out the reformatory school in Milwaukee, what I'm saying, call it Wales. And that's why I kind of got a lot of my, street stuff from, being around a lot of dudes, young like me, trying to find their way. And, my daddy was a player, so I had a lot of game. So a lot of the dudes, they would try to suck up game from me because, I was born in this shit. My daddy was a player. My uncles was players. They came from Mississippi, with Cadillacs and shit, cars in their phone. All my life I rode in Cadillacs, convertible Cadillacs. Pops he shot cricket dice, and, he's a pool shark. That's how he fed our family. A part-time construction worker. My mama worked in the factory. But that wasn't enough for me. By the time I was 16, I got my first prostitute. And that led me into the game, but the hoe wasn't getting no money, so I kept on hustling, because we was robbing jewelry stores and robbing banks and shit. So it was just so much money in that, and it was a misdemeanor because we were juveniles. So we kept doing it, Then once I got a little older, caught my last case, I said, man, I think I'm gonna switch up. But lo and behold, I'm back on them, like I want them. Then caught a feds case. I got the feds. I said, this is it. Start mashing like a mad Russian, man, and came pimp of the year, and man, man, won all the trophies, all that shit. Really was in these streets, man. I don't think it's a blade or a track in America that I ain't worked. Got
Oh
a
yeah,
Real holiday.
16 deep, huh?
you get us excited when you get now you talking our language. 'Cause this is stuff we grew up in. I just want to touch on one thing because it's such a you mentioned the early brothers who took you up under the wing in the different organizations from the Rookins to the black gangster disciples before any type of fractions was involved, right?
Right.
So I just I just want to know what type of such valuable information were you able to obtain from these brothers who have geopolitical ties, who have spiritual ties, dealing with like the brothers from the El Rookins.
Well,
What type?
back then it wasn't like that, man. It wasn't no spiritual ties. These was young gang bangers, you know what I'm saying? Me fresh from Chicago. It started off as community, gangs, just little homies, little blocks, and then they morphed into what we call today the Black Gangster Disciple. It started with, David Boxdale, King David, which, and Jeff Ford, you know, and Willie Lord, and the Latin Kings. So, they was just gang banging, beating each other up, fighting in Humble Park and shit like that. It wasn't no conscious shit. It was just dumb shit. You know what I mean? Niggas just fight. As them niggas got older, did time in the penitentiary. When Jeff Ford went to Leavenworth, he got introduced to the Moor Science Temple. That's when he became a Moor. So the word El come from the word ill and bays. So like I'm a Moorish American too, so I'm a Bay. Jeff Ford was an ill. You know what I'm saying? And I got pretty much introduced in the penitentiary as well to Islam. Americanized Islam. So he took it and he seen a lot of the things in the moral science temple. He incorporated into the El Rookin, like love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's been around since 1913 with brother Noble Drew Ali. So a lot of the fairs that you see in the El Rookin Square that come from us. This 5-point star that come from the Moore Science Temple. The red flag that come from the Moore Science Temple. A lot of the stuff you see with the gangster disciples. If you look at the symbolism. The 6-point star is a Jewish star. You know what I'm saying? And it comes from Judaism. So a lot of that stuff was formed in the prison. And a lot of those concepts was already introduced from the prison. And then when Larry Hoover caught his murder case, him along with my cousin Ike Taylor, and the rest of them, the main 21s, not the main 21s, the ones that was in jail with him at the time, they came up with the new concept, and that's when you get growth and development, which is a whole nother perspective. Brother Larry got into the politics, and brother Gator, who was right hand man, he was out there, saying gangsters go to the polls, you know what I'm saying? And of course, brother Jay Prince, all of them got cool with Larry, and that's when you started seeing the geopolitical campaign. You know what I'm saying? But it was always some kind of movement, and it started basically from the Black Panthers. A lot of brothers, you hear Fred Hampton, and all them brothers in Chicago, they wore black and had afros and wore black gloves. Then you start seeing Jeff Ford now wearing black glasses and all that. Larry kind of went to jail young, so he didn't really get a chance to experience a lot of stuff. Jeff went to jail young too, so you start hearing about the Moes or the El Rookins becoming more into Orthodox Islam way, like we pushed into the 80s. After Jeff Ford introduced them to the more science. Then now they get into that, and you start seeing Larry Hoover talk about going to the polls in politics. Jesse Jackson, all them brothers was affiliated, because they was from Chicago. So, they knew that the Gangster Disciple was the biggest organization and always have been in Chicago, you know. And so, they didn't talk like that back then. And back then you didn't have the BDs and the GDs, you just had GDs. The BDs, when they came about, with Dirk, Don Dirk, and his crew, they formulate that in Stateville, and that's how you get them brothers, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the people who from Chicago know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't always been that way, you know what I'm saying? So, I never joined because I was so strong as far as my family, like I said, a lot of my family on both sides was connected with that. So my cousins then like walk up to me like, "What you represent? Who you down with?" We'll play basketball and kick it. And I go over to the other side of town kicking my cousin who was GDs and BDs, and we'd kick it. And it was a family thing. It was never no, he don't represent or he don't belong. So I never had to join. So even when I went to the state joint or the feds joint, even though all my little partners was riding with somebody, I never had to ride because I always said I'm a part of the player clique. So I didn't endorse gangs. I always was a player, you know what I mean? And niggas like, man, which nigga, I'm a player. And that was cool too because the players had their crew. It's maybe about 30 of us. We was in the minority, but we was there, you know what I'm saying? So and they didn't fuck with us. They didn't fuck with us, you know what I'm saying? We was able to make it. So a lot of niggas, they fuck with us, you know what I mean? I mean, any nigga that tell the truth, man, they know I ain't never checked in. Ain't never. I mean, I just always been a player, man. I've been a player even in reformatory school. We had the crooked dice. I made crooked dice out of soap. You know what I mean? We'd take the soap, cut them into squares, and I make these 8 straight 5s and shit. You know what I mean? And make some regular dice. You put the 5 in the deuce. You put the tray in the 4, the 6 and the 8s that make the dice. But I have 2 trays and 2 5s and 2 4s on that bitch or something. You know what I mean? And I be trimming them niggas. All the commissary, you know what I'm saying? I had it. So I would sell, I had a store too. So, I mean, it was just like poker and blackjack. I was a professional cheater. I cheat all them niggas out they shit up in that motherfucker. And these was murderers and killers. And them niggas gave me my shit. I had one incident when niggas stabbed me right here. Nigga out of New York, you know what I mean? Man, got in the gamble that I beat him so bad, he was doing the life bit. I took all his shoes, I took his cigarettes, I took all his silk shirts and shit. That's the shit in jail. The jail, the belts they make in the jail where you put your initials on it and shit. The little leather
Yeah,
belts
yeah.
that you make in the arts and craft room. I took all that shit from him and he couldn't handle it. That was the only time and I ended up beating him down in the mop, but I didn't see he had a shank. So he caught me in the chin. I was bleeding. I thought he just got me with a good shot. But after I mopped him up and put him in a motherfucking briefcase, I folded him. I seen the shank in his hand. I said, "Damn, that nigga could have killed me," And that's the only incident that I had. I slapped a white boy one couple times in penitentiary, for turning the TV. But I mean, I just never joined the game, man. I never joined the game, but if in my organization, hip hop fraternity, I ain't got nothing but gang members. We got GDs, Bloods, Crips, BMF, all them brothers in there, and I got them all on one core. I be like, we be vibing with each other. Cause I'm telling them, I said, man, listen, man, you know, we got to, y'all got to survive. Y'all all in this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these folks got y'all killing each other, man. This shit ain't really. I mean, what real issue you have with this brother? Once they sit down, man, they talk, they find out they got more in common than they don't. Even when I was in the feds, when I was the Grand Sheik, and I was calling for the moles up there in the federal penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? I brought a lot of GDs and vice lords of Crip. My main man was a Crip named Shotgun from the Roller 60s. He was my chief of security when I was in the Fed. So, and a lot of brothers, gangsters, So I understand the culture. I know the lit. I know all that shit. It just ain't never been my flavor, man. You know what I'm saying? But I respect
Right.
Larry. I respect Jeff. I respect, man, the nigga, Willie Lord, the Gotti. Those niggas, they King Boo, and King Bean. Them niggas was the leaders of the Vice Lords. They all came to my party in Milwaukee. They all the vice lords and the gangsters just come to my party. Ray, Ice Ray, all them niggas, man, they was heavy in the game, but they respected me, man. I just always been a respectable player, man, and that's why I always want to remain neutral and be on both sides and fuck with niggas that because I knew niggas that was like Ice Ray. That nigga had $1 million chain around his neck. I'm talking about like some motherfucking Queen England type shit. But he was, he represented one side, but he was a player. King Bean, he was the king of the vice lords. Lil Gotti, King Gotti, he was the king of the vice lords. But them niggas was players, they did what they did. They built their name and reputation, but ultimately, what I'm saying, they wanted to ride Cadillacs, what I'm saying, and ride Benzes and shit, what I'm saying, and dress nice. You know, it's just sometimes you grow up in neighborhoods, you have to join shit. You know what I mean? You know, I never had to. I mean, I swear to God, man, I'm not bragging. I've been smooth all my motherfucking life, man, for real. Even when I was a young nigga, we
That's
was
what's
getting
up. That's what's up.
thousands, man. We was getting thousands, man. My niggas used to get thousands. We didn't go rob the motherfucker for candy. We went and took all the jewelry. We went in the bank, store that motherfucker. We take the money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we ain't had no gun or nothing. We just go in there, get that bitch some pennies. She go back there, count them pennies. We'd jump over the counter, grab some quick 40, 50,000. So we young niggas, you know what I'm saying, with Rolexes and Benzes and shit, man, like we was selling dope. And we went doing nothing but robbing motherfucking banks, you know.
Right.
And you look at my
Hey,
criminal record, ain't nothing but stealing big money, big money. You know what I mean? So, cause I always looked at it like that. Now I tried selling dope, but that shit don't work for me because all I never had a co-defendant. You know what I'm saying? I never had a co-defendant. I robbed and stole with niggas, but anytime I ever got caught, I never had a co-defendant. So when I went to jail, a lot of niggas that had co-defendant, a lot of them niggas, got told on. So that I made a policy, if I'm doing something major, I'm gonna do it by myself. So when I tried to sell dope, I had to go get the work from this nigga. I had to go drop it off to this nigga. This nigga had to go sell it to everybody. I said, it's too many motherfuckers involved. I'm gonna get caught. So dope didn't work for me. So I knew that I had to get the ing. Ing mean I'm not going send the bitch.
Yeah, right.
real holler though.
That was the only thing.
Hey,
The pimping was the only thing that worked for me. Nothing else worked for me. Cause the jewelry shit didn't work for me because I was too determined like a German. You know what I mean? I go in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see $100,000 jewelry, I'm taking it. I go in the bank, you know what I'm saying? If they get caught slipping, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna snatch the money. And they all had cameras, you know what I'm saying? But that's how determined we was. We didn't pay attention to camera. We didn't think about that shit when we young. And then I mean, who gonna beat me up in jail? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problems. I
right.
know everybody. We all been doing time. All them niggas. We grew up in prison together, so I ain't had no beef. It was like shit. If I go to jail, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna do my nickel and come on out. I'm gonna do my dime, come on out. That's the mentality that I had, you know. But dope, that shit scares the fuck out of me. You know what
So,
I'm saying?
so,
I remember, man. I was around with this crew. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and my brother was like, he was running them niggas, right? And so they was cool with me. Like I said, I never joined the gang, but they was family. You know what I mean? And we was all hustling together. And my brother was holding it down. So he gave me some shit. You know what I mean? I went on the other side of town because I didn't believe in selling dope to black folks. So I went and sold it to the white people. And I had my workers and shit, and they selling dope and shit. And one of the niggas, I ran out. So I had one of them spots where I was doing like 10 a day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was some rocks and shit. So I ran out and I go to fuck with my nigga. This nigga got 28s, music loud, 5 pistols and shit. And I'm like, man, talking, man, come on in, man. I'm gonna hook you up. Oh, I'm like, man, this nigga hot as fish grease. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm gonna go to jail. Fuck with this nigga. And you know what I'm saying? He ended up going to jail 6 months later, for being too hot. So that's why I don't sell dope. You know what I mean? I wouldn't sell dope because you got to deal with a bunch of niggas, man, that do shit for bitches and shit and ride around, flashy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and don't think, you know what I'm saying? Me that it's expiration date, man. Even the can of beans got an expiration date. So I'm like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Get your money then shine later. Cause that's how we was moving. When I came through, nigga, I got on overalls, I got grease all over me. I'm driving a trap car, and I got these stash cans and shit with the lids out. They look like soda and all kind of shit. And I'm moving for real. Niggas didn't move like me. So nope, I ain't doing no dope. Even though I was fresh out of penitentiary, it was the fast way to get on your feet. Nope, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? My brother was like, man, you crazy nigga. My brother had Benzes and Jags, 5, 6 houses, you know what I'm saying? Big boy jewelry. I said, I ain't doing it. So it ain't long and short, he ended up coming with me. You like, man, that pimp shit look good. I
For sure.
said, yeah, nigga drop the dope and pick up the hope, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So he
Real
stopped
holla.
selling dope too. You know what I'm saying? So, that was one nigga that I converted from the D to the P.
Straight up.
Yeah. But
And
man,
how old was you? How old was you when you did that conversion?
well, I always been with the pimping, right? You know what I'm saying? But when you first get out of the penitentiary, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I was about 25. So you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, these niggas, man, when I tell you these niggas was hitting them, when I say hitting them, my nigga, they was hitting them. I'm talking about IROCs, convertible motherfucking everything, Corvettes and Benzes and Jags. It was like some New Jack City shit. But these was like my direct niggas. So you know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
chose to go that route. So I got in it and got out the shit as soon as I got it. So you say 25, you know, I'm in and out. You know what I'm saying? And first group of bitches, I fuck with some stripper bitches. You know what I'm saying? So I tried that shit, and uh, uh, one of the broads, you know what I'm saying, her auntie was a thoroughbred and not a wonder bread. You know what I'm saying? So she got with the program, and she's like, my auntie did it like this. So I said, come on. I said, I got a fresh spot for went to New York, and the rest was history, man. I went out there. Them niggas, one of our friends decided to go out there with us. Niggas peeled me. They served me the news, blow my fuse, and put the bitch up under some no rules. Nigga named L.A.J. Nigga named, what's that nigga name? Lucky, he rolled me around like he was cool with me. Why this nigga got at my bitches, you know what I'm saying? I said, I love these niggas. You know what I'm saying? I said, this is the game I want to play. I said, I love these niggas. I said, these niggas is dirty, grimy motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no, when pimping began, friendship end, I said, oh, let's go. So, I went home, money up, got deep, went out there, man. Next time I went to New York, I was throwing payday candy bars at niggas' bitches. Hey, bitch, make it a Ken Ivy payday, bitch. You know what I mean? I'm stepping in the shit. You know what I mean? I'm throwing my business cards on. Every time I knock a nigga, I put a ketchup bottle by his car wheel. Say, nigga, man, who put 4 ketchup? Nigga, me, nigga. Yeah, nigga, my game is thick as high. You'll never be thick as mine, nigga. Get out the mustard and ketchup, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting them the business, right? And them New York niggas like, damn, we ain't never met no nigga like this. I'm riding down the blade, you know what I'm saying? Me, it's like 100 hoes turning dates right there in the cars. And I'm pulling up in the car, you know what I'm saying? I got the door open. I'm like, hey, bitch, the door's opportunity's open, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I know you're tired of making the mistake fucking Fox. But hey, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Me, hey, bitch, how about Pimpin' Ken for the money, bitch? You know what I'm saying? Me and for the record. No, the record too small, bitch. How about for the album, you know? And that nigga was like, who the fuck is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? And New York niggas, they slicker, but they ain't never met a nigga slicker than me. So all the niggas became my friends, man, and we would travel all over to Philly, to DC. And I was getting it, you know what I'm saying? And them niggas loved me, man. They loved me. And when we had the Pimp of the Year, man, them niggas voted me International Pimp of the Year because they like, man, Ken be everywhere. Because I had one nigga,
Hey,
man.
hey, 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 what year was this when y'all had the first when y'all did the Pimp of the Year though?
Oh, when I won was in '95. That's when I won the
Okay.
International Pimp of the Year. I won no '96. So I won it in '96. I won it in '95. I won one in '90. You know what I'm saying? I won all the trophies you can win. I got actually it's a picture on my Instagram with me winning all the trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
I
cause
won
we, cause
all
we,
the
cause we
trophies.
out here. I'm from the Bay Area, right? I'm from West Oakland, man. The home of the notorious San Pablo in East 14th, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I grew up around that, right? But I've been
Yeah,
saying like,
My boy Tycoon from there, Pimpin' Tycoon.
yeah. You know, my cousins, my James Holloway, Holly Rock. That's my cousin, man. He kind of notorious out there. So I grew up around that. But it's like, so when I'm sitting here listening to you talk, man, it's kind of like take me back to my childhood growing up around it, man. So it's like How did
Man,
it feel like when you?
hey man, San Pablo, International Boulevard, man, Gay Street in Frisco. Hey man, hey, it ain't a blade that all them niggas know me. Ask Gangsta Brown and Kenny Red, all them niggas, man, when he was alive. Virgil, all them niggas know me, man. You know, I done pimp with all them niggas. Kenny Red got me for one. I got him for one. You know, he didn't say I got he sent me a phone call, sent him a phone call. Gangsta Brown, all them Oakland
Yeah,
niggas, man. All them Oakland niggas
yeah,
know me. you know, I'd had a fruit, stump down from Oakland. Couple of them, you know what I'm saying? It ain't a blade in this motherfucker that I ain't put first aids and band-aids. I done cut niggas everywhere but on their feet. Because I want them
real
still
holla.
standing. I got through cutting their ass. you know. Yeah, I'm gonna loosen my tie up, man.
Yeah,
This family.
Right.
absolutely, man. You can loosen it on up, man. You know what I'm saying? Kick your feet up, man.
It looks
Hey,
like my
so like, when did you just know, like this is me, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm 10 toes in it to win it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? When did that just dawn on? Like when you,
Okay, so when the nigga knocked me in New York and I went back, uh this was in 90. I went and bought that 90 Fleetwood, put the gold spokes on 100 spokes on that motherfucker with the mustard and mayonnaise, trues and bows, right? So I go like 6, 7 deep back out there and I really just had to pimp for it, you know what I mean? And when them niggas peeled me, man, that's when I believed that I was really pimping. I said, these niggas got me for a bitch. Cause me, in my city, right? Like I said, my family's strong. Niggas respect me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas been to the joint with me. So I had a lot of respect in and out the joint, right? You know what I'm saying? Cause I got fast money real quick. I always pick myself up from my bootstraps and I always, got me a fresh car, some fresh jewels and whips quick. It didn't take me long to catch up. So, I had my respect in my city, but the fact that niggas didn't respect me and niggas was trying to manipulate me and play on me, that shit turned me on. You know what I'm saying? Made me feel like, oh, y'all want to play, y'all want to fight. Okay. So that's when I knew that, I was going to be in it. But my mama always told me, she said, boy, whatever you do it for real. So I said, man, if I go back out here to New York and then, I have my partner, Flip, may rest in peace. He was out there too. He had convertible Cadillac. He was out there, giving them boys the blues, but they loved him, because he was out there for a minute with them, right? So when I went out there, man, I made a promise to myself. I said, man, hey man, no additives, no preservatives, no mix, straight P. And that's when I went straight P, no mix, and that's why I would say one hole is too close to no hole, and a broke hole is a no. So you know what I mean. I just started sweating everything that went nailed down. You know what I mean, and I used to sweat them so hard in D.C. One of my pimp partners, Siegel, them niggas used to pull me to the side. Hey man, that the bitch gets to work, man. P, you on the whole heels too hard. You know what I'm saying? Me and that was just me. And you know what I'm saying? Being I ain't trying to say I'm a gangster, but being a nigga that will pop that thing that didn't give a fuck and coming from Milwaukee, Milwaukee, we call it. I ain't give a fuck about them niggas in DC. I ain't give a fuck about
right,
them niggas nowhere. I was like, nigga, you know what I mean? Nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'm set one, so I'm gonna set one. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, if you set one, you can sweat one too. So I'm on that, that Milwaukee rah
right.
shit, you know what I mean? And so but them niggas Ice and Buttons and all them niggas, Seagull, all the giants that was out there at the time, they pulled me to the side, and said, man, this ain't how we do it in DC. And so we became friends and, I stopped pressing them niggas, but that's just how I was. I was just, you know, and then if you a young nigga, you know what I'm saying, you slow, I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? That was just that because that's the way it happened to me in New York. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been around it way before New York, but them niggas showed me that this is how it go. And pimping is a non-contact sport. It's a gentleman's game, and all the hoes belong to the community. That being said, that was easy because my pimp partner, Pimpin Pope, taught me, that man ain't no love in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no love in no pimp. You can't love on no hoe. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that, I had all the sympathy removed out of my heart. So you know what I mean, and I was also taught with Pimpin began, friendship in. You know, so I was raised right. You know, my partner Star Child, may he rest in peace. He died of COVID last 2 years ago. The brother, you understand, he used to drill me like a motherfucker. He said, man, yeah, man, when you get the bitch, man, ask the bitch where she from, who's her mama, you know what I'm saying? How many boyfriends she had, you know, what school she went to. He said, drill the bitch so you can know everything about the bitch. You know, and I would do everything he told me to do. And he told me how to knock a bitch. I ended up knocking him for my first bitch. It was a bitch named Bridget. But me and him, you know what I'm saying, me, you know, we fell out about that bitch because, you know what I'm saying, me, you know, I guess, you know what I'm saying, he wouldn't follow, he wouldn't practicing what he preached. You know what I'm saying? You know, and but Pope, you know, who I did some time with, he told me, man, don't ever fall in love with no hoe. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know, a hoe's supposed to walk from this end of court, that end of court with her tongue still looking at your dickhead if you tell. He said, a hoe supposed to fumble 3 times to light your cigarette when it's in your mouth. He said, when your stomach growl, a hoe's supposed to woo woo. He said, everything you come out your mouth should be instructive. Hey bitch, do this. Hey bitch, this. Hey bitch. And man, I promise you, you know what I'm saying? That was the only real game I ever got because I followed his information to the letter, and that made me the giant that I eventually became. You know, and bitches would be like, fuck with Ken. That nigga, he real pimping. You know what I'm saying? You know, he standing on his, you know, and that's how I was able, you know, and I didn't take no shorts. You know, my choosing fee was 1,000 at a time. You know what I'm saying? It was $1,000, but I take it 500 at a time. You know what I mean? So, you know, hoes know you couldn't even talk to me unless you had a band. You know, so that was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm long gone from that, retired. You
Got
know,
you.
I'm
Hey,
just giving y'all a synopsis.
hey, hey. I think Z's got a question. I got some more for you too as well. Go ahead, Z. You had something you want to ask me?
Oh yeah, I got a question from the crowd. They saying there's a distinct link between Chicago and Milwaukee. So when did you leave Chicago and get to Milwaukee
When I was
and start putting
14,
feet on the curb?
when I was 14.
So what's the value of being kind of simultaneously raised in two places because you
No,
got
man, I'm claiming Milwaukee. I don't. Hey, it's Milwaukee. I say I'm from Pewaukee. I'm from Milwaukee. You know, I'm gonna tell you why. You know, cause I ain't getting no game from them niggas in Chicago. All the game I got from my pops. My father, all the niggas come from Mississippi. They some players, right? They was some they broke all them niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Chicago ain't gave me no motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying? Me, you know, it's just where I was born. But when I got to Milwaukee, nigga, all the pimps from all over the country. We had a motherfucking track called the L. All the motherfucking pimps from all over the world was in Milwaukee, man. That's why everybody in Milwaukee said they a pimp. Just like Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Me, everybody's a motherfucking pimp in Milwaukee. Everybody got the game. And so it was a small town. So let me break it down to you. So in Milwaukee, you know, the game is like, it's so small that everybody got the same game. So everybody bump into each other. So you don't become a giant till you leave that Milwaukee line. You don't become once you cross that Milwaukee line, you become a giant. So when I got to Chicago, I mean not Chicago, New York, and even Chicago, you know, when I went back, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't as fast because all the niggas from Memphis, New York, around the country, they would come to Milwaukee and work their bras. You know what I'm saying? We had a live track. So, you know, and then you mix that with being with a father that's a street nigga that got the game, and you mix being around all them players and going in and out of jail, you know what I'm saying, and hang with them niggas, and some niggas, fell bad on their luck and start shooting dope and shit, and end up doing some bullshit like stealing something out of Walgreens or doing some stupid shit, to get some money, robbing a jewelry store or something with a gun to furnish their habit because a lot of pimps turned to heroin and cocaine back then, but they were still sharp. So I was in jail with a lot of them niggas. So that's the difference between Chicago and Milwaukee. Milwaukee niggas is just way more, like look at me, I'm a Milwaukee nigga. We just way more. I don't know what to say. Chicago niggas is more organized and gang. The most pimpest nigga in Chicago might be a gang leader. But Milwaukee niggas, we don't want, the real niggas that, they ain't trying to be affiliated with none of that shit. We straight pimping, what I mean? No mix. And that's how Milwaukee made me. And then I became the biggest in that life in Milwaukee. So being that I was the biggest, what I did is I represent that shit, every album I've ever been on, pimpin.net, so this puts to a drop that from Milwaukee, bitch. I would say Milwaukee on 50 Cent album, Chicago, any album. So I'm representing the mill because, in a lot of ways, I kind of helped put the mill on the map too. A lot of niggas like to say they from Chicago,
Okay.
you know, to make it seem like they tough or they from a big city. Me, I was the opposite. Nigga, I'm from Milwaukee, nigga, and I got game. That was my thing.
Right. Yeah, I could dig that, man. And you definitely I really would say that you put Milwaukee on the map though. You know?
No doubt. Who else did
Yeah,
it? name,
absolutely.
name a close second. You ain't gonna find it. I put Milwaukee on 40 million records. Pimps Up Hoes Down was seen by 1 billion people. Ain't nobody did that. I don't live there now, but I love my city, man. It's some real players up there, man. Y'all ever go there and y'all meet the real players? Y'all gonna be like, yeah, man. Now we got a bunch of head busters up there too, because their daddies went there. Once the players got locked up and they took all the slick shit off the streets, the niggas with the gang, these young niggas, you know what I'm saying? Because the town's so small, we ain't got no motherfucking Pablo Pasco, whatever the fuck they call it, Noriega. We ain't got none of that shit. We ain't got no boat, no water, none of that shit. It's either killing or pimping. That's Milwaukee. Either you're a
Uh,
pimping ass nigga or a killing ass nigga, or a gangsta ass nigga, or a heroin selling ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? There ain't
hey,
that place for
hey, so
heroin.
hey, so like, how did you get to the like? It's a real level up when you get to the point of getting to the place where you pimp of the year and all of that. Like, how did you get tapped into like that arena? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I was the
When did
pimp
you
of the
know that?
year.
Yeah.
I won it, man. $100 Rolexes. You know what I'm saying? Benzes, Rolls Royces. Suited and booted every day. I used to model for Murray. I don't know if y'all know that. I bought so many Murrays that they called me to be their model. You know what I'm saying? It was in all the
Oh, is that
magazines.
right?
Yeah, go check it out, man. It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
I was the slickest talking nigga. I had the slickest cars. My shit, all my shit, before niggas was fixing cars up, I was fixing cars up with the shit of that time, and I had the prettiest bitches, you know what I'm saying? So, my shit was official like a referee whistle. So that's why niggas, then could nobody out talk me. Did nobody wanted to battle me on the track. Nobody wanted to roast me because they know they couldn't out roast me. And that was a known fact,
Right.
man. Don't get in there with Pimpin' Ken or Ken Ivy. That nigga gonna roast the shit out you. And I was a fly nigga. I'm still fly at 60, almost. I'm 59. I'm still fly nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never not be fly. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
that's why them niggas had to give me my props. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm 1 in 1 million when it comes to this fitness spectacular vernacular.
Right. So hey,
Real
let's
hella.
talk about a chop session, right? That you had, like a legendary chop session on the blades, one that you come to mind where you just like, oh my goodness gracious, this was a
Man, I had so many of them, man. All I can tell you, man, is I left a bunch of first days and band-aids on the blade. You know what I mean? Like I said, I cut nigga everywhere but on his feet. If a nigga wasn't pimping, if a nigga come on the blade, you know what I'm saying? And, he talking about he pimping, you know what I'm saying? But he Mexican pimping, I'm going to get on his heels like, yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying? That ain't your bitch, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you supervise the bitch, nigga. You a Mexican pimp, nigga. You need to be on the border, nigga, with that motherfucking sombrero on your head. I'm Eddie, you know what I'm saying? And then, every time I see him, I say, what's up, what's up, little boy? They be like, well, and then they talk shit. Then I go there and I roast them, and then I say, yeah, nigga, call the bitch right now. Call the bitch a bitch. I bet you can't call it. I bet you that's your girlfriend. just little shit like that, that I was known for, and was shaking nigga up and it was fast, but a lot of them niggas end up being my partners, man. After a while, man, once you build your name, I fell back like a Michael Jordan jump shot. I just started, just riding the $100,000 cars and, $100,000 watches, the Versace suits. You just want to be the smoothest nigga, after you go through that combat war zone, making a name for yourself. Then you back up, you get a little smooth. You back up like the OJs and spin up off suckers like the Barcades. You know what I'm saying? And,
That's the one. That's the one thing I always admired about you, man. Is in public you showed a lot of poise, and us being young and wild. That's one thing that we lack. As youngsters, is seeing somebody out there with poise, and you had it. And that's one thing I gotta tip my cap to you on.
Man, I ain't always been like that, nephew. So you gonna grow to that. What you go through, you grow through. See, y'all know the Pimpin of the day. Y'all don't know the nigga that used to pistol whoop niggas and slap niggas and kick niggas in the ass. Cause I mean, hey man, you young and you crazy. And like I said, man, Milwaukee is either you pit so in Milwaukee, let me explain to you what I just said. So Milwaukee, if a nigga, right, can come up to you and snatch your chain, everybody gonna snatch your chain. If a nigga come up and slap you, everybody gonna slap you. You know what I'm saying? If a nigga shoot at you and you run and don't do nothing back, everybody gonna shoot at you. You know what I'm saying? The niggas they like predators and shit. They prey on motherfuckers. So, you gotta come in the game, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta kick a nigga in the ass, you gotta pistol whoop a nigga, you gotta throw a nigga in the trunk or two, you know what I'm saying? Let niggas know you ain't bullshit. And then once you get established, then niggas know that you ain't having it. So I've been through that shit too. It ain't always been a smooth selling for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a reason why I can walk around Milwaukee and don't nobody rob me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, it ain't just happening. Reason why I go in the ghetto by myself and with no security, but my social security card and don't nothing happen to me. I put in a lot of work, you know what I'm saying, me, to get that respect. You know what I'm saying? But once I got that respect, when I pulled up, in a Benz or something, with 5 or 6 bitches in it, it wasn't like, man, we're gonna catch that nigga slipping. They're like, that's Kenny. You know what I'm saying? That's Kenny right there. And then I got all my homies on the east side, they all gangsters. The east side gangsters, they all like love me because we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? We grew up boxing, niggas boxing each other. So you build a reputation, and then you get to the point where like I said, you get smooth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't finna be fighting no nigga with no $100,000 Rolex on, no $5,000 Versace suit. You know what I'm saying? I got to the point where I ride through the blade if a nigga was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I give a nigga $1,000, like, man, if I know you're a good pimp, hey man, get back on your feet, man. You know what I'm saying? Me, he's gonna be all right, P. You know what I'm saying? Me, or if I got a regular bitch or something, I'm like, hey man, listen, man, this you might need some rec, man. This bitch, you know what I'm saying? She don't really fit in my program. You might want to, mash on this bitch, get back on your feet. I gave some niggas some bitches and they came up off the hose. So, that's the other side of the game. That
So
you
you
get
was donating game.
now you get to the point where you fade away. So now as I'm getting older, I'm fading away and none of this shit don't mean nothing to me no more. I got peeled in New York, so I wanted to go back and prove myself. I proved that, made niggas bow down, niggas started respecting me, niggas loved me, niggas talked about me. I want to, go on every track. I want to travel all over the country and let niggas say, yeah, he was over there, he did that, he did that. I did that. You know what I'm saying? Me, after Pimps Up Hoes Down, you know what I'm saying? Me, everybody started, hey Pimpin, hey Pimpin. So I wanted to get into the movie industry, you know what I'm saying? Me, and make my own movies. I did that. Then once I did that, around 2000, niggas, start calling me 50 Cent, Nelly, and all these niggas. They wanted me to get on albums and do that. I did that. You know what I'm saying? Me. So, you get older, you do things, and you fade farther and farther back. I managed a couple rappers. You know what I'm saying? Then I got into the point where, I started buying real estate. Bought me a big ass house in Menominee Falls, doing shit like that and buying Maseratis and, you know, just Benzes and Rolls Royces and shit, And now I'm living the American dream. You know what I'm saying? Then you do that. Then you say, well, man, I need something else to do. go to Dallas, you know what I'm saying, me, and open up me a clothing store, dispensary, CD, did that, Then now, I said, man, I want to be in the game, you know what I mean? 'Cause I got too much game, so I want to get into the industry, the rap game. So now I'm the CEO and founder of Hip Hop Fraternity. I got 4,500 members in my organization. We got 30 states. I got 100 executives up under me. So you go through phases in your life. You know what I'm saying? Now every nigga, they be like, man, you don't want to pimp no more. If you really pimp, who wants to pimp, man? That's a job. Niggas act like pimping is like a school for boys. No, man, you got to work for that money. You dealing with psychology, you dealing with minds and shit. That shit ain't easy.
Right.
Imagine trying to deal with your wife. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she fussing and arguing, or your girlfriend, and you multiply that times 10 or 15 bras, man. That shit could be a war zone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You had brought up a point earlier though, just about staying neutral and kind of like staying on your own, not choosing sides, so to speak. What was the value in that? And if you could tell something to the youngsters, that's not to say the ones that's incarcerated, because that's a different thing, but the ones that's in the free world, what's the value of staying neutral and being able to stand on your
Well, the
own?
value of being neutral go back to what I said about selling dope. If me and my homies was, if we say this, we was gangsters. I'm gonna say that because all my homies gangsters and my cousin, they all high officials in the gangster cycle. So say we was all gangsters, right? And one of my homies, you understand me, fell in love with a chick, right? And the chick, you did what I'm saying, she wanted to get out on him, and she go be with another dude. He's gonna lie and say, man, that nigga, you understand me, man, he violated, man, he violated the nation. So now, because we all tied to this nigga, you know what I'm saying, we got to go ride for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though he really in his feelings about a bitch. You see what I'm saying? Or say, for instance, that, we got one nigga, you know what I'm saying, I mean, he's riding with us, and you know what I'm saying, I mean, he drunk and do some dumb shit, he shoot a op. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and the nigga die. So now these niggas got, they got to keep score. They're gonna hit one of us up. Suppose you the nigga that's right, you got your head to the right or to the left, or you got red or blue on, nigga, you can die just on a drunk nigga's attention. Or you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you selling drugs and one of the little niggas is a square ass nigga, weak ass nigga, he joined the game because he wants some protection. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then we get a nigga some work, we put the nigga to work, we put him through the test, had a nigga sit in the spot with the acid and the work and shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he get to slipping on his pimpin'. He dating a dope fiend bitch. The D's coming there, kick the dough in, right? This nigga, you understand? He sleeping up with a dope fiend bitch. They get all the work. They get this nigga. He ain't got no priors. This nigga ain't never been to jail. He goes to the motherfucking precinct and nigga is singing like the Temptation, and so he bring everybody down. I don't want to be connected to no shit where one motherfucker can destroy everybody. It's so many ways when you dealing with a bunch of personalities that a nigga get fucked up. So I always say that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool to be cool with gang members. It's cool to ride, with them niggas on another level, on some player shit, I mean, like, man, I know a lot of my pimp partners was, was Bloods and Crips, you know what I'm saying? But they was ism. They was ism too. So I didn't judge them, for being what they is, I mean, anybody can change, you know what I'm saying? But if they say, come on, Ken, let's ride and let's create a pimp game, I'll be like, man, I'm not with it. You know what I mean? Not because I'm against it. If it's something positive or if it's something legal, you know what I'm saying? I'm with my people. I'm with unity all the way. But if it's people in there that's unscrupulous, and you see that in the joint. I mean, you know how many times the Aryan Brotherhoods was trying to kill a brother and the Muslims had to come save him because that nigga took some commissary, think he was taking commissary from a weak white boy, when in reality these motherfuckers, got a gang of shanks and all kind of shit, and these motherfuckers heavy in the penitentiary, and the police working with them too, because the police racist too. And now, you know what
Right,
I'm saying, they
right.
finna lock all us down and set a nigga up to get shanked. You know what I mean? It's all kind of shit that happen when, you dealing with a bunch of niggas that ain't scruple. So my thing is, you know what I'm saying, I mean, it's cool to be cool with everybody, be a respectable gentleman. And when I was in the joint, man, my favorite thing was I spoke to everybody. the Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, the Vice Lord, and Brotherhood. And when I speak to, I say, "How you doing, my brother?" You know, everybody would speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Me, and that's how I was able to be one of the cool dudes in the joint. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to everybody, and I was by myself. You know, and that I ain't never heard the Vice Lord say we're gonna ride on him, or the Crips say we're gonna ride on him, or the Blood say they're gonna ride on him. You know, even when I was in the Moore Science Temple, you know what I'm saying? If a brother was on some bullshit, he was doing all kind of crazy shit, we would tell the brother he had to leave the temple. You know, not that, I got a problem with you hustling, but man, you know what I'm saying, it's a bad reflection on the temple. So, what I mean? It depends on, what you into, what you about. Like I said, everybody thought I was an East Side gangster in Milwaukee because I ran with them niggas every day. But we all grew up on the same block. You know what I'm saying? So I had no problem with them niggas. But I wasn't obligated to the shit. When they say let's go kill somebody, I had to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't a part of that. And if I had some drama, I ain't finna call them and say whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna handle my own business. And if something happened and the police come, I ain't gonna tell them myself. So that's the
Right.
perspective that I look at it. But I know in LA and in certain neighborhoods in the penitentiary it's hard. You know what I'm saying? If you young, man, you 22 years old, you come to penitentiary, it's 100 niggas over here screaming this, 100 niggas screaming that. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick sides. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna devour your ass. So I understand that aspect. I'm not saying, but I was just speaking on my reasons. You know what I'm saying? Why I never fuck with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna be as smooth as Ken. Everybody ain't gonna know how to talk to a motherfucker in a joint. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember, you do all your juvenile and all that shit in jail. You know how to talk to a nigga in the penitentiary. You know not to look at a nigga crazy. You know not to, get a nigga business. If you see some drama, to walk away. It's just certain penitentiary shit you could do that cause you can survive without even being in nothing. You know what I mean? Don't take no money from them nigga. Don't take no dope from a nigga. Don't do crazy. Don't be in a nigga business. You know what I'm saying? When I used to be in the pen, I used to walk straight. I didn't look at nobody. I didn't look at nothing was going on. You know what I'm saying? Me only, like I said, if I see somebody, I speak to them like, what's up, what's up? But if something, like if I'm in the dorm room and it's two niggas arguing, I don't even look that way. I look straight. You know what I'm saying? If the shit get too heated, I go to my cell. You know what I mean? It's just certain ways you got to be shy though. Everybody ain't gonna make it not being in the game. You have to be intelligent. You got to be smooth. You got to know prison protocols. You know what I'm saying? You got to know street protocols. Like I
Absolutely.
said.
Hey, it's amazing you mentioned that, and as a dude excuse me, who done been up here for the past 23 years, man. You know what I'm saying? I can attest to the fact that everything he's saying is 100% correct, though. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's survival 101 up in here, man. And it's a blessing to have you on here to speak them jewels, man. Just a quick reset. Thanks for everybody that's been joining us, man. You in the Ghost Regime with Mike Ascari, man. Got my brother Z's in here. We got the legendary Pimpin Ken up in here, man. So like, share, subscribe to your guy, man. You know what I'm saying? You smelling what we selling. You want to support the podcast, man. The Cash App is right there on the ticker. You can also follow me on Instagram at Ascari_Mike, though. But back to it though, Pimpin. So like, when did you just get to the point to where you like, you know what, man? Let me just start segueing up out of here, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when
Well,
did
man,
you get
it
to that
happened
point?
the craziest way, dude. When HBO came to me, I had a store downtown, had a few properties and shit. I mean, I had maybe about $250,000, stashed upstairs in my store, right? So I wasn't lacking for shit. But when they came to me, man, and they told me, they was gonna give me, all this money and whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I told them, I said, well, I had a little money. I said, I want to make my movie too, if y'all making a movie, because I'm a player. So I'm like, man, let me shoot too. So I just hired some niggas, man. I spent a lot of money shoot my film while they was shooting their film. And so they shot their film, and I went to this nigga that worked for Warner Cable named Po Diddy, or whatever his fuck his name is. And I gave the nigga 10,000. I said, man, edit this project for me. You know, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just had footage, had this nigga named Castle following me around filming and shit. So he edited the shit and we call it Pimpology. Most of y'all probably seen it. So it was a place called Capitol Court in Milwaukee. And this where all the niggas used to hang out at. So I had my man to print up me 100 copies. So I went to Capitol Court and I just started selling DVDs. And man, I sold out in like 20 seconds. It almost seemed like, but probably about more like an hour. And then I went back, I got another 1,000 from the dude. And I sold that shit out. It was like they was buying that shit because it was right after Pimps Up Hoes Down. And niggas wanted a double dose of that Midwest Coast. And then next thing I know, I went and got me a van and I ran a van. It was a regular ass van too, from one of those old ghetto ass rental places. And I got me 5,000 DVD, 5 tapes, 5,000 VHSs. I sold them in 30 days and I was turned out. I was like, man, fuck, I'm gonna be selling DVDs and VHS the rest of my life. And I made millions of dollars selling out the trunk. That's what made me conversion. You know what I'm saying? I never seen that kind of money made. It was better than dope. And everybody loved me at that time because I was fresh off Pimps Up Hoes Down. And everybody, that's all they was talking about was Pimps Up Hoes Down, you know. And they played it every day, 3-4 times a day. So it made it easy for me to say, I go to Ohio, man. I just pull up at the fucking liquor store and I say, Pimpin' Ken, the whole neighborhood would come to buy tapes for me and take pictures. You know, I go to Detroit, the same thing. Everywhere I went, New York, Philly, Mississippi, they all seen the movie and they all wanted to take pictures with me. So I was the first celebrity that actually get out there after Celebrity Dome and sell the DVDs. So then that led to other businesses, you know, making so much money. In 30 days, I bought a 600 Benz and I redone all my jewelry in 30 days. My first 30 days. After that, it's just money. I bought houses and then I got a deal with this nigga named Gerard from Scriptmaster. And Script Masters, you know, they sold my movie. Then I made some millions off of that shit with Arcanelli. You know, he had these little porn shit. So and we both was all night. You might seen them commercials with me on there back then every night on BET. You know what I'm saying? We killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we killed it. We made a bankroll off that shit. Then I went made another movie because you know once you make one, you make some money. You gonna make, then that movie did good. Then I made another one that did good. Then I hooked up with Maroy. We did Best of Both Worlds with me and Pimp C, and that shit went crazy. So you know, all this shit happened to me, and I'm making money without selling dope or pimping. So why sell dope or pimp when I'm making bukus of money? I could go in the room if it was 1,000 niggas in the room, no bullshit. I'm gonna sell 400 or 500 tapes at $20 a piece. So I'm making $8,000 every time I walk in the room and you know I'm traveling, you know, having fun. I'm meeting people. I'm taking pictures with people. That time they had MySpace. You know, I'm all over MySpace. Everybody talking about me, and at the same time, you know, all the rappers heard about me. You know, and they start paying me thousands of dollars to be on their albums and shit. You know, the shit just, there was no reason for me to go back to pimping because I'm winning. Even today, I'm winning. You know what I mean? I never stopped winning since I've been doing legit shit. So I encourage all young men that, you know, if you got to hustle and you determined, you're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't flip my hustle a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Me and you know, you still look. I'm still pimping Ken. You know, you don't lose. If you go look at my videos on all these podcasts, I'm doing 800, 900,000 views. I'm doing more than some rappers. You know, so the thing that I'm saying is that if you're a player, you're a player. Your game gonna work wherever you go. You don't have to be selling no dope or mashing on a bitch. That shit just that's just the hustle. A hustle is a hustle, but you can switch your hustle and still. I'm still Pimpin' Ken. Niggas respect me all over the world. Ain't nothing changed. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody still ain't gonna touch me, nigga. Man, I got all the killers in my organization. All the gangsters fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
whole fucking group of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Go to the hiphopattorney.com. Those all my little niggas. They all with me. And I ain't telling them niggas to go kill nobody or go rob nobody. We finna ride on them niggas. I'm bringing them niggas different organizations together. And I ain't selling no dope or pimping. So Or I ain't in the penitentiary. I ain't been in jail in 30-something years, at least 33 years. So 35 years. So when I was it 30, maybe about 38 years. I don't know if it's so long. But anyway,
Yeah,
I ain't been in jail a long motherfucking time, and I had everything Nick can imagine. So the point that I want to tell young people is that yeah, they heard my pimp stories and all that stuff, but that's just a microcosm of the life that you can live if you go the positive route. You can still survive. You still can have everything that you ever desired. You know what I mean? Like, what I mean, I ain't never not, enjoyed my life, you know what I'm saying, since I've been out the game. Now, a lot of niggas want me back in the game because I was one of the sharpest and I brought a lot of fun to the game, you know what I mean? So I can understand why they would want me back in the game. But, you know what I'm saying? Only a fool would make the same mistakes twice. If you do the same thing over and over again, expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity. So, when a white man changed his laws, I changed mine. You got to think they
right.
got human trafficking. They got all kind of shit for a nigga's ass nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So why would a nigga that's smart, put himself in that funky position? You know what I'm saying? When you know how to make money. Like I said, we got all kind of shit. Clothing. We got social media. We gonna have the awards on Saturday, HHF awards, ugly money and making it big. Man, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker
Yeah.
sold out. I might make
Hey, hey,
$150,000, you know what I'm saying? Just by
hey,
opening doors.
hey, can you tell us about the hip hop fraternity? How did you come about forming that?
Yeah, man. It's just my son. I sent him to college down here, and nigga was putting him in a motherfucking Atlanta twist. Selling him showcases and taxing him everywhere he go. And I wanted to come down here and help him, but at the same time, I seen the need for unity in hip hop because hip hop is the second largest export of black music in the world. You know what I mean? Export period. It's America's second largest export. Hip hop is Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? It's hip hop is the only game that created four billionaires in this game, and that's Jay Z, Kanye, uh, Dr. Dre, and P Diddy. You know what I mean? What other business in Harvard, Yale, Columbia, name any other entity where it created four billionaires and a plethora of millionaires? It's our culture, it's our call. I always say my Mexican brothers got rice and beans, they got tacos. Our brothers, from Asia, got shrimp fried rice, egg rolls, and our brothers from Italy got spaghetti and meatballs. You know what I'm saying? We black brothers, we got hip hop and soul food. So you know what I'm saying? This is our shit. We created this in 1973 in the Bronx, 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand, what I'm saying, and realize that if we the gatekeepers, if we the creators of the music, we creating this shit in our basement, we creating this shit in our studios, then we should have 100% ownership of the intellectual property. So we're gonna teach our brothers about cryptology. We're gonna teach them about the blockchain, the metaverse, about ASCAP, BMI, and all these other things that generate the money. It's a travesty, my brother, when you make a record and you own 100% of intellectual property, and the record label said we're gonna give you 15%. So every time they make a million, you make 150, and they make 850,000. If you had a Rolex and the Rolex costs 50,000, man, I'm gonna give you 1,000. You gonna say, hell no, you must think I'm stupid. No, I think you stupid if you get motherfucking 85, 850,000, not a million, you only take 150,000. That's stupid. But if you ain't got nobody to throw an alarm clock in the graveyard, you gonna be dead and sleep. You know what I mean? So what I do is I throw a alarm clock in the graveyard, and I teach these brothers about unity. I say, man, the reason why they don't want you and so to be together. Same reason why they want Pac and Biggie. It's East Coast versus West Coast. It's Death Row versus Bad Boy. It's Cash Money versus No Limit. That's how the record labels been killing you niggas. You know what I'm saying? They've been keeping y'all separate so y'all can't compare the notes and say, oh man, you making this much money? Oh, you making that much money? Oh man, woo 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 woo. So what HHF Hip Hop Fraternity does is we wake everybody up, get everybody to game, and we got a lot of people with game that share game. You know what I'm saying? That's why we created our own social media so you can email people, you can chat with them, you can communicate with them. You know, we got a lot of celebrities that's a part of hip hop fraternity. You know, and then I'm the CEO. So, you know, who know the game better than me? You know what I'm saying? I've been on over 40 million records. You know, I done work with everybody in the industry. I got more plugs than a light socket. You know what I'm saying? Me, so I'm the plug for real. You know what I'm saying? Me, Boosie signed to me. Ice T signed to me. You know what I'm saying? Me, how many can say Boosie signed to him other than me? You know what I'm saying? Me, how many can say Ice T signed to him other than me? Signed the boy Corey Wise. You know, I'm bringing these brothers. You know, me and my partner Steve will hook Boosie up with the liquor deals. We hook him up with the potato chip rap snack deal. We hook him up with the cologne deal. We some sharp niggas from Milwaukee. You know, with a bunch of gang. So you know what I'm saying. If you a rapper, then you need a nigga like me because I'm not your competition. You know what I'm saying. I only have one vested interest in you, and that's for you to blow. And once you blow, I'm gonna go get the bankroll. You know what I'm saying. I'm gonna show you how to get the dough. I'm gonna get you those equity partnerships that you need. I'm gonna plug you with the majors and with the major businesses that fuck with hip hop. Like I said, it's the second largest export in hip hop. And we as a black people, man, we spend 98% of our wealth for other communities. You know what I'm saying? We only spend one and one half of our money with ourselves. You know, in 1860, the eve of the Civil War, before Lincoln freed the slaves, it was the same scenario. Niggas had one and one half of the wealth of this country, and niggas comprised 50% of the penitentiary. Eligible men to go to jail in 2023 ain't number 6% out of 6% of eligible men. That's exclude women, baby, children, and old people and mentally retarded motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 6% and 51% of the prison, that's a travesty. America ain't number 5% of the world's population. We have 25% of the world's incarceration. We got to, you know what I'm saying? Look at the game for what it's worth, man, and wake up and smell the motherfucking coffee, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit, you know what I'm saying, is because we don't have unity. We need a hip hop fraternity. We need somebody that's gonna wake us up. We need people with like-minded ideals and like-minded understanding coming together for the sole purpose of uplifting each other. You know what I mean? And that's what we do as at the hip hop fraternity. We uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? We share each other videos. You know, brothers collaborate. If you from Oakland and I'm from Milwaukee, if I do a song with you, that means you tying me into the Oakland region. I'm tying you into the Milwaukee region. You know, and if we come together, if it's a bunch of us right now, we got 4,500, we get a million of us, we're going to control the world. We got our own award show. We got our own clothing line, the HHF jackets. Y'all seen them online. You know, we got our own radio. We got our own magazine. You know, we got our own everything. We feel have a hip hop union, and we feel have a hip hop pension fund for rappers, you know, who get old and can't rap no more. We building. We got a political action committee too. We got Brother James Gray. You know, Al Sharpton, former vice president, working with us to build and Dr. Bay in California to build a political organization, you know, to help brothers, you know, to navigate, you know, because see, one thing about this game, this is a quick quote pro. Quick quote pro means favor for favor. So, you know what I'm saying? If you got money, you can buy the politician. You can buy the politician. We get our brother that's been locked up for 22 years. We can get him out. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's what happened with Lil Wayne. That's what happened with Kodak Black. Quick quote pro, a favor for a favor. Somebody put some money in Donald Trump's pocket and he said, okay, now you're talking my language. You know what I'm saying? When you talk politicians' language, they're going they make the laws. They could change the law tomorrow and say everybody get out of jail. And won't nobody be able to say nothing about it. So ain't that the motherfucker you want to? Ain't that the motherfucker you want to be cool with? So once we get the hip hop
Absolutely.
fraternity and we bring everybody under this same concept, then we can go and we can buy the politicians. You know what I'm saying? We can vote niggas in that has our best interest at hand. We can get our brothers out of this mass incarceration situation, which is being controlled by privatized prisons, CCA, Correctional Corporation of America. You know, we have to do something about this, but we got to get focused. And see, focus is like looking, putting your eye on the keyhole and looking at the keyhole, and nothing is in your peripheral. And all you see is your purpose, your goal on the other side of that door, looking through that keyhole. But you know what I'm saying? The problem is a lot of us got attention deficit because when we were young, our parents, you know what I'm saying? Like I got 9 of us. I'm the 5th child. So by the time I'm born, my other brother, the sixth child, when he come, my mama kicked me to the curb. You know what I'm saying? She stopped holding me. I'm not the baby no more. So you feel abandoned. You start being the class clown. You start doing crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you start doing shit for attention. You start getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you know, it's hard for you to develop a relationship because the first love is your mama. So your first love is saying, here, go fend for yourself. You by yourself. Now you feel abandoned. And then that causes you to have narcissistic behavior. See, a narcissism, we all narcissism. If you say you're not, you're narcissistic. But it's different levels. You got the first level of narcissism, you know, a person think he better than everybody, think, you know, he ain't nobody shit but him. Then you got the second level of narcissism, a person that do everything for you and then brag about it, you know, to get the attention. And then you got the third level of narcissist is one who just hate everything, everybody wrong, everybody is a faggot. Everybody's a punk. Everybody ain't shit, you know. So, but you got to figure out where level you fit in at that. You know, if you are a narcissist on the first level, as long as you use it for confidence and to help build your stamina and help build your motivation, then it's cool to be feeling that you the greatest. You know what I'm saying? But if you doing stuff for people and you want attention, then that's a bad form of the second level of narcissism. Unless you do stuff and you don't seek attention, you just do stuff out of kindness of your heart. And then the third one, you don't want to be that at all. You don't want to be no hater. So you know what I'm saying? But all this stem from being a child and you create this behavior because your mother leave you, you know, to say, you know, I love myself. That's why you be in the mirror when you're young and trying to, you know, look at yourself because you've been abandoned by your parents. You know, and Lord forbid your father left. Lord forbid, you know, you end up in a foster home. You know what I'm saying? And so that makes it hard for us to love. So, you know what I'm saying? What we have to do is we have to build ourselves by getting focused, looking in that keyhole. You know, it's a guy, I don't know if y'all know him, but y'all gonna know him when I say his name. But he was a great filmmaker and he was living in a rural area in California. And some of the big executive producers in California brought him to Cali and they produced some great movies and they was some blockbusters. Then the guy said, I'm focused. I want to go do my own thing. They said, you'll never be able to make it. You'll never be able to make it. It's just impossible for you to make it. He said, yeah, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And, you know, he just stayed focused. And so, long and short, you know, the movie I'm talking about is Star Wars. That became $1 billion industry by
George
George
Lucas, yeah.
Lucas Films. So you understand me? That go to show you when you know you focus and you don't let nobody, you know, stop you. You know what I'm saying? Or nobody distract you. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what the young people have to do. You know what I mean? They can't allow, you know, I mean, you know, you got to get rid of that dead weight too. You know what I mean by get rid of that dead weight? It's like every nigga you carry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your homeboy. Like, see, I'm gonna give y'all a bad example. This one made me get rid of my dead weight. Some niggas was talking slick about me on the internet about 4 years ago. One of my longtime partners, I came to him, I said, say, man, you know, I need you to do this for me. And he said, man, I ain't doing nothing, man. You know, I said, man, I need you to vouch for me. Let these niggas know that this nigga talking shit. He said, no. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, it baffled me, you know, right? So what I did was, man, you know, I reassessed my friendship. I'm 55 at the time, and I said, man, you know, I'm getting rid of all the dead weight in my life. I even had a voicemail. I said, I'm changing my number. And I said, if you call me and I don't answer, you just wanted to change. I said, I'm making some changes in my life. And if you call me and I don't answer the phone, then you just happen to be one of the changes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I say that because if you got a 30-pound book pack on your back and you walk with that book pack and say you take it off your back, you're going to feel like Muhammad, you're going to be able to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But you're going to have that dead weight, you know, off you. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to let people go. You know, it's even good and goodbye. It's okay to say goodbye. You know, you don't have to carry people around. And once you get rid of that dead weight, all those people that you don't need, all those dudes that you've been feeding, all them fake friends, all that stuff, you're gonna feel like a feather. You're gonna feel light as a feather. You know, but I give you a better example than that. The eagle, who is the most profound of all human birds. The eagle, when it fly, it soars. You know, when eagles see a storm, it goes up to the storm and shoots in the storm so it can propel to a high level. Eagles love to fly high. If an eagle see a pigeon, he gonna shoot up. You know what I mean? Because he know he's flying too low. But you know, a chicken, he do this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing against a chicken. I ate one today. but chicken eat his own feces, and the chicken can't fly no more than 5 feet. You know what I'm saying? But when the chicken make love, I mean, when an eagle make love, he make love in the air. That's why you never see a chicken and the eagle making love because he don't fly high enough. You know what I'm saying? Or a pigeon because he don't fly high enough. You know what I'm saying? Eagles fuck with eagles. But the problem that the eagle have is when he see a weasel, he get the weasel and he put his strong claws in it, and then he take the weasel, he fly 10,000 feet up in the air, and then he descend 10,000 feet to his death because the weasel eats his chest out, he eats his heart out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and the eagle's so stubborn, he don't want to let the weasel go. But once he dead, he don't have no other choice. Him and the weasel die. And that's what you got. You got to get those weasel ass niggas out your life, those weasel ass bitches. Because if you don't, they're going to destroy you. If I got a cup of water and I say, Mike, I don't like you. You's a nothing ass nigga. And I say, but I'm going to drink this cup of poison and you're going to die. Nigga, you ain't going to die. I'm going to die, nigga. How the fuck I'm going to drink some poison and you going to die? It ain't gonna happen. So that's what happened, man. When you're around people, you got to forgive them, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Because forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to others. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody live in your head rent free. Let the people go. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the dead weight in your life, and you're gonna be all right. I know I've been
Salute.
talking
Hey,
long.
hey, hey, no, you good, bro. Hey, look, this is why you here, man. You know what I'm saying? The laces, bro. You know what I'm saying? I would have it no other way, man. You know what I'm saying? The public need this, man. You know what I'm saying? And this what the ghost regime is all about. You know what I'm saying? I am a member of the hip hop fraternity. You know what I'm saying? And I've also enlisted and enrolled for the courses that you guys provide, and I'm going to be, you know what I'm saying, taking up my studies pretty soon on that. So I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, that benefits
Thank
that you guys have extended to us. You know what I
you.
mean?
And it's all free. Everybody can join
Abs-
free. Some people always ask me, what is your game with the hip hop? I say, my game is no game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you run no game, no cap, or nothing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't nobody used to that. So when we came to Atlanta, everybody charging. I told you about my son. So by us not charging nobody, could nobody compete with free. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so we won everybody over. And we became one of the biggest organizations in the country so quick, like in 2.5 years. And like Brother Mike said, we provide free service curriculum so you can learn about the music business and you become more business astute. Because one thing about me, I'm a street nigga, y'all. Don't get it wrong, but I'm a fucking beast when it comes to business. That's why Ice T allowed me to do his book deal. If Boosie allowed me to do his book deal because they know when I'm in front of them people, man, man, I got spectacular vernacular, man. I'm on it like I want it. I'm determined like a German. You dig what I'm saying? And when I get through with them people, they're gonna be spinning like the four tops.
real holla, real holla. Hey, so Z's, you got any more questions for Pimpin' Ken?
Yeah, I had. I just was, you had spoke on just owning your name. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you still can. And that's real. But a lot of people done sold their name. So I really see the need for the hip hop fraternity, on so many levels, just because trademarking, ownership, rights, that people are selling. And now that people have rights over them and obligations, and now they time is tied up.
Well,
Um,
let me give you the game, right? What the people selling they publishing, right?
right,
Publishing is good 89 years after you dead. You know, you ever hear that song by Whitney Houston? I will always love you.
right, yeah,
Yep.
Well,
mm-hmm,
Whitney Houston don't get the publishing. Dolly Parton, that was her song. It was this dude. He was with the Beatles, and the Beatles. He was a drummer, but he died. But the lawyer seen his son on America Most Wanted contact the son and say, hey, we got $3 million in copyright control. That's where they put your money at when they can't find you. It's called a black box. They put your money in copyright control because publishing never dies, until you 89 years after you dead. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so what these companies is doing, how many of y'all play NBA 2K or whatever it's called? Y'all played that before? The game
Well,
with the NBA, the basketball game.
I know what you're talking about, but I've been
Or
in
what about
prison 23
NFL? Y'all
years.
ever
Not
play
yet.
them games?
I play Matt Mobile.
Okay, okay, okay. So if anybody ever played those games or play what's the other game where they kill everybody and shit?
Oh,
Uh
Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, Grand Theft Auto. So you got all these games, but you know what you're playing? You're playing as avatars. So now they got the metaverse. So the metaverse is what? The metaverse is a company that was created by Mark Zuckerberg. He spent $10,000. He got 10,000 new engineers, and he spent $10 billion on constructing. Windows just bought. Bill Gates now just bought a company called Activision for 137 billion. Right. So, and they buy everybody publishing. So what happens is Snoop just did a concert in the metaverse. So what they gonna do? Because they raised all y'all up on these games, y'all already used to avatars. That's why they say you can get dressed in the metaverse. You can do all this in the metaverse. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna take their music, they're gonna put it in the metaverse, and it's gonna be a bunch of games and a bunch of people using that music at a premium price of maybe $1.99. You get a billion people using one of Lil Wayne's albums at $1.99, and everybody gonna use it, and you're gonna get charged whether you want to use it or not. Then the shit they paid 300 for, they'd have made $700 million profit overnight. You know what I'm saying? This is what these folks is doing. And guess what? A lot of artists is not going to make the same kind of music. And they love that music because that music, it creates destruction in the black community. And to a white supremacist, that's a great thing. You know what I mean? So they want to take that music and they want to continue to propagate and promote it to our young people so they can social engineer them to be killers. Like, they had the movie, like the brother said, Grand Theft Auto, you got to kill, you run red lights, you get scores for everything you do violently, right? So, you know what I'm saying? If you got your favorite song and you killing a nigga to your favorite song, you being double, you know what I'm saying, indoctrinated and hypnotized with this shit, you know what I mean? And these folks play a shrewd game. And that's why they give it, don't nobody give you no $300 million if they don't expect to make a profit. And then, I understand Lil Wayne now saying, man, woo woo, because they don't think about generational wealth. Go look at any movie on YouTube's about the Rockefellers or the DuPonts or the Mellons or the Gatys or the Morgans, the JP Morgan. You know what I'm saying, man? Or the Carnegies and stuff. These folks, they play a different game, man. They create generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne gonna blow that 300 million in no time. You know what I'm saying? Because his lifestyle. But you know what I'm saying? He couldn't have blown that publishing because that publishing would have lasted him a lifetime. He would have been and say, Ken, well, man, that don't make sense, man. Okay, Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog for $50 million over 40 years ago, 30 years ago. Janet Jackson just sold it for $1 billion.
Hey,
So,
so I got a question for you real quick. Did you? I know you had the Pimp Some Hoes Down series and the other project you had after that. Did you write your book before or after those events?
after Pimp Some Hoes Down, because you got to remember, they offered me a book deal. They said they're gonna give me 25,000. I said that shit won't pay for the front end clip on my Benz. I don't need no 20. I got my cost 200,000. Fuck out of here. So they came back and gave me $250,000. He said this will buy you a new Benz. I said yeah. Now we talking. And that was 5 years later. So I didn't plan on writing the book. They gave me some money, and my hands just got to work. You know.
Hey, this the reason why I asked, right? Because I recently got a book deal offer. It was for 100 bands, right? But it didn't include no residuals, so I turned it down. Like, you know what I mean? I got a crazy ass life story, man. I feel like, you know what I mean, my life way more worth, you know what I mean? I won't
Down a hundred
ideally
thousand
I wanted
dollars.
some, huh?
You turned down $100,000.
Yeah, because it
Why?
include no law because it didn't include no royalties with it.
Oh no, you did right.
I mean, it's like a hundred. I just felt like $100,000 is like in today's world. I mean,
Well,
that
when I when I do artists, when I do people's book deals, right? What I try to tell them is the less money you take, the better. And they said, "What you mean, Ken?" So every dime you take is recoupable. So think about it from a mathematical standpoint. So if you got a like, okay, Boosie, I use him as an example. His book sell for $20. He sell 50,000 books. That's $1 million. But if you take 1 million, right? Then he got to get that million back, and then he got to sell. But if you take 100,000 and he sell 1 million, he made $900,000 for him and the company. So now they ready to negotiate his second book. You see what I'm saying? So the less money you take in a book deal, because it's not like a record deal, you can't play books in the club. You can't play books on the radio. It's a different strategy. You know what I mean? You got to
Right.
play the long game. So the less money you take, you know what I'm saying, me, and the higher your royalties, you know what I'm saying, me, the more money you're gonna make. Because see, you gotta look at the book game like this at Caesar Palace. They take a gamble on you. But the record company is like US Bank. They putting your ass in 1,000,000% interest. So you know what I'm saying? It's a different game, but what what I tell people from my perspective, it's best to self-publish because, it takes so long to get royalties after a while. They got so many accounting, and then so many people touching your money. Burns and Nobles, Books a Million, Target. You know what I'm saying? Amazon. Walmart. You know what I mean? But when you independent, then you know what I'm saying. You get the top chef of the money, and a publishing company will charge you for all those different transactions separately. So you know what I mean. The best way to get the money is to be independent. Like my second book, The Art of Human Chess, I did that shit independently, and I made more money off that than I made off my first book because I
Hey,
get
so how
all the money.
so how do you go about self-publishing though? Like, what's the
Well,
process on that?
write this down, Lulu.com. Go to Lulu.com and they give you all the formats and the prompts of this, and then, but I would say bypass that shit and go to ACX.com. ACX is a company owned by Amazon. But what they do is give you 40% for for them to distribute it all over the world. But you don't have to write the book. All you gotta do is go in the studio or pay somebody to go in the studio and read your lyrics or read your writing, and then everybody on their phone now. Like if y'all ever look at me on Instagram, I always say go get my book at audiobook.com. The reason why I say that is because you already on your phone. You ain't got to go to Burns and Nobles. You ain't got to order from Amazon and wait for it to come. And in the future, everybody gonna be doing audio books because that's the system. The megatrends is already pushing them towards that. So that's one way you can do it. You just go in there and read your book in the studio, upload it to ACX, push one button, and it's gonna be all over the world. You know what I mean? You're gonna eat like a fat rat. You know what I'm saying? So
All right, I see we got an audience in here. Why you make that point, Ken? If anybody in the comments got a respectable question to ask Pimpin' Ken, man, this your chance to do it, man. And I ask him this, let's keep it simple and keep it respectable, though. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, welcome to the Ghost Regime. Like, share, and subscribe to your guy, though. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Pimpin'.
no, I'm just saying, I'm giving you the game, and it's hard when I talk to these like this one dude. I he we had him at 350,000. He wanted 750,000. So I went and I renegotiate. I got the people to negotiate. I got them to agree to the 750,000. But what he don't realize is that his bar is gonna be high. So what that means is that just depending on your Instagram and your Facebook and your Twitter and TikTok, you have to tell all your fans to go all the way to this other situation, not this on radio, not this on in the club, and buy your CD or buy your book. So if don't nobody buy that shit, or if you can't move enough books, even though you get to keep the 750,000, you're not playing for the long game like Harry Potter. Harry Potter done made $1 billion off of their books because they played the long game. TD Jakes got 40, 50 books out. All them people got books on top of books on top of books because they play the long game. When you play the long game, you come from a different perspective. Well, you short range It's just like a shortchange nigga that's on the street hustling for $20. You know, he's shortchanging. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so he ain't gonna go nowhere. He gonna be running in place the rest of his life, always shortchanging. But when you play long range game, you got LRPs, long range pimping. You know, you playing for big money. I always tell people, I don't fish for goldfish. I don't fish for whitey. I don't fish for catfish. I only fish for sharks. I mean, for whales. And the reason why I don't fish for sharks because whales eat sharks. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z is a shark. You know, Master P is a shark, but Universal is a whale. So I ain't trying to sign with them niggas. I'm trying to sign with the whale. I'm trying to get some of that whale money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's how you got to look at life. You got to aim for the big. If you're gonna think big or think small, guess what? You still thinking. So you might as well think big.
Right.
Right.
So, quick question on the music side though. You done been on albums that done sold millions and millions of records. So, did they ever send you any plaques? You got any plaques on the wall?
Yeah, I got 13 plaques.
Wow. So you got it like a room? Is it
So,
set
so
up?
and they got to pay me every quarter for publishing. So I'm be eating way. My kids gonna eat 89 years after I'm gone. You
Man,
know, so
residuals.
so that's
Hey,
why you
see,
don't see.
hey,
That's
see,
why you don't never see
it's
me working a job. That's why
hey,
I
it's
look.
for that.
That's why I look. That's why I look like this at 59 because I don't work.
It's for that reason why I turned down that deal that they offered me. See, I think what they thought because I'm a convict and I'm in here, I would have just jumped on anything. They didn't know that I was playing for the long haul. It's like um I had got another one for a documentary, right? They offered me a half a ticket, but again, it didn't include no residual. So I threw a counter offer. I said, how about y'all give me 250,000 and 49 points on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's,
I ain't heard nothing back. I ain't heard nothing back yet. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you know,
um,
when you get to talking like that, you know, them people know that you ain't slow. So you know, like I said, you know, we started the hip hop fraternity, so we got our own clothing line, we got our own social media, we got our own magazine, we got our own award show. Because you know what I mean, you can think on that level. You might as well be independent. You might as well control your own narrative, right? You might as well control your own business, you know, because we entrepreneurs, you know, and some of us entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? But we entrepreneur something. So you understand me? So we need to, you know, focus on, you know, long term and what you're gonna leave your children and how this shit goes to the next level. You know, like I own 100% rights to hip hop fraternity, so ain't nobody finna come and just snatch the jaws out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Me. So therefore, I got leverage. You know what I'm saying? Me, and I'm building market capitalization. And I'm also building culture capital. You know, so we move like a major. That's why people say, why would y'all do the award show? Because we don't have to wait on MTV or BET or the Grammys or the Emmys and none of that shit. We do it ourselves. And that's why I said, those who going to be able, we'll put it online Saturday, they're gonna see how big we do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's how you got to think. So you know what I mean? If you got the ability, if you got somebody telling you gonna give you 500,000, what they're really saying is that that shit is worth probably about 4 or 5 million. You know what I'm saying? They offer you 100,000 for your book. That means that your book really, if you get all the money, is worth about 1 million. So you just got to look at it, you know, from a businessman. It's economics. Economics is supply and demand. You know, if
right.
you got demand, then you supply it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's economics. You know, and you know, I mean, you know, you got your own podcast, so you can market through your own various media channels. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you know, it may take longer, but you'll feel more better when you win. You feel like, man, I stood on mine, and I didn't allow no motherfucker to take nothing from me, and that's the
Hey,
key
that's
in life.
hey, you just nailed it on the head with me. You know what I'm saying? One thing you learn about, especially when you come back from a life sentence, man. You learn patience, man. And I wouldn't have started this journey, man, if I wasn't in it for the long haul. If I wasn't in it for, you know what I'm saying? As you just mentioned it though, we ain't gonna hold you too much longer, big bro. I
And y'all see me fading away, huh? Like a Michael Jordan
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
shot.
yeah, 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 absolutely, man. I really do appreciate the pull up, man, and
But
the
I got a
support.
lot of shit to do tomorrow. Y'all know I got the awards, so I don't want to leave. I love talking to y'all, man. And
Yeah,
Mike. I do anything for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
so
I mean, I'm in your corner, man. I'm Team Mike all the way. But at the same time,
real
man,
holla.
I don't just talk about pimping. If y'all want to call me and talk about, a whole bunch of shit, man. I'm very astute. I mean, like I said, y'all know I deal with corporate people all the time. If y'all need to know something about your contracts or, bad deals that you may have made, if I could give you some assistance, I wanted to show you that. If you want to know how to structure business, how the different type of business, whether it's an LC, sole proprietorship, 501c3 or 501c8, there's different things that, I can give to your audience that would be beneficial to y'all and it will help y'all because you got to remember, I was the street dude too. You know what I'm saying? I was out here, clowning and wilding and pimping and hustling and shooting and all kind of shit. You know what I mean? Doing all kind of weird, dumb shit. But you know what I'm saying? I educated, I taught myself, and I became a great businessman. And so some of y'all is gonna be me. I'm finna be 60, so I'm moving that way. A lot of y'all got a long ways to go to get this way. So y'all might as well get this game while it's on display. But if y'all see the pawn shop, break the window and take it because it's good. Some good game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
A-
just trying to lace y'all up. But we can talk about multiple subjects. Get me back on here, Mike. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pick some subject. We can talk about
abs-
slavery because you need to know your history too. I need to know who your
absolutely,
ancient forefathers were as well.
absolutely, and that was the plan, big bro. This was just consider this the intro, man. Sign. Y'all can go online and check out the hip hop fraternity at www.hiphopfraternity.com, man. You know what I'm saying? It got all the info on there, man. Sign up, it's free. You know what I'm saying? Get that free game, man. Know what you want though. It's a lot of resources on there. Know what you want, man. And once again, thank you, Pimpin' Ken. I'm gonna be getting at you pretty soon because I got a lot on my thing that I need to tap in with you on, as you say though. But we go holler. Major salutes to you and thank you for blessing the platform, bro.
Hey man, thank y'all for having me, man. I'm tired as hell, but I enjoyed the shit out y'all, man.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, likewise.
All
Absolutely.
right, peace, family. Y'all be
Peace, family.
smooth, man.
Peace,
Absolutely.
man.
Much love. Yeah, man. So there you have it, man. That was Pimpin' Ken with us, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop some jewels on us, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is what we gonna be bringing to the platform, man. We lining it up, you know what I'm saying? And just to give y'all a sneak peek, you know what I'm saying? We about to have big verbs on here, you know what I'm saying, sometime in the near future too, man. Don't sleep on us, man. Don't think because we small we ain't on it, man. We serious about this shit, man. We on purpose and we not by accident, man. It's the ghost regime, man. Shaniqua Town business in a building though. What's up, big sis? What's happening with it though, man?
What up, sis?
Um, you know, got my brother Z's up in here, man. We locked in, man. So thanks everybody for joining, man. Thanks everybody for tapping in. I mean, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the content, man. Any suggestions, any advice, anything you got, if you support the podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, you know what I'm saying? Contribute to it, man. We don't get monetized on here, man. You know what I'm saying? So the cash is right there on the ticker, man. You know what I'm saying? So major salutes to everybody. Thank you for
Yeah, like,
in
share,
advance for
subscribe.
the
Share it with somebody. You know, it's a
yeah,
good
holla.
game, man.
You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
share the platform, man. Show the support. You know, cost you a dime. Let's go.
For sure. And if any of y'all on Clubhouse, man, you know what I'm saying? Tap into the Ghost Regime on the Clubhouse. We also promoting the Crowded Music Streaming app. You know what I'm saying? We do music reviews for all artists. It's trying to, you know what I'm saying, find a home, independent home where they can benefit and also have their music heard, man. You know what I'm saying? We on that hype too, man. We taking this shit to another level. We are not playing, man. We ain't waiting on nothing, no. So Thanks everybody, man, for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? And I holler at y'all on the next one, man. Salute. We up out of here.
Yeah.